Hey everyone, today we're going to take a look at Spider-Man 2 running on the most powerful 8-inch handheld, the Onexfly APEX. And this thing is powerful because of the AMD AI Max Plus 395, which is an absolute beast. So what we're going to do is we're going to try this at numerous settings, and we're going to see how it plays at different TDPs and different graphic settings. Starting off first with 80 watts, we're going to be at 1200p very high settings with frame gen off and FSR set to quality. At these settings, we have a pretty playable experience at, anywhere from 60 to 80 FPS, and it looks great because we're at very high settings and we have our FSR very limited and no frame generation. There are a couple dips that go just a little bit below 60, but they seem to be fairly infrequent, so I think we're going to have a pretty stable experience here. Now we can go ahead and see what it can do with frame generation. So turning frame generation on, we should get, probably about double the FPS, maybe not quite double, but pretty close. So with frame generation, we seem to be anywhere between 100 FPS all the way up to about 150. So we're definitely getting close, if not maxing out the display here, because it's 120 Hertz, which, we really want to target 120 FPS at the peak. Anything above that, we could probably turn up graphic settings. And now switching over to the battery, we're at 55 watts in the same settings, and our range seems to be 95 FPS up to, about 135, 140. So actually not much of a drop in performance, so it's kind of surprising how well this does at 55 watts. Now we'll drop down to 45 watts and see how that does, and it seems like we're still over 100 FPS most of the time. So seems like this game seems to run really well on the Apex. I'm kind of surprised how it's not really being that impacted by dropping the wattage here. I'm sure once we get a little bit lower, like 30 watts or less, then we're probably going to have to change things, but we'll have to take a peek. So now we're going to switch up to 30 watts and we're going to see how it does with the same settings. And we've certainly dropped our frames by quite a bit, and with frame generation, we don't really want to go below 60, but we are staying above it. So frame generation is still, I would say, usable at these settings and at this wattage. And dropping down to 20 watts, now it's a bit of a different story. We're not able to use frame generation with these settings because it's below 60. I mean, you can use it, but it's not going to be a good experience. Turning frame generation off, we seem to be under 30 FPS, so I think we're going to have to make some adjustments to the settings for this to actually be a playable experience. We'll test a few things out, so first off, we're going to try out high settings to see how that goes. And with these settings, we seem to be, just above 30, sometimes a little bit below, so it's not the most stable right now. Now we'll adjust things down to very low settings, and with this adjustment, it seems to be playing quite a bit better. We're sitting somewhere in the 40s, which is, a lot better than 30. So we're going to be locked at not quite 40 FPS, but we can for sure have a locked 30, which is really all you need for a game like Spider-Man 2. And lastly, we're going to try out 15 watts. And with these settings, we seem to be very close to 30. Sometimes we do drop just a little bit below. I would recommend dropping the resolution down to maybe 800p, and you should get more of a playable experience at very low watts. I didn't test that on this video, but you could try it out if you're picking up one of these devices. And that's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.